We begin today with the Warriors, who are changing things up with just 23 games left in the season. Last night, the man to my left reported that JaVale McGee would be starting in place of Zaza Pachulia. That's right, JaVale McGee, the same guy who did not play in a coach's decision 15 times this season and was mostly languishing at the end of the Warriors bench after his feel-good year last year. And this looks like it's going to stick for a while. Head coach Steve Kerr said that McGee would also start Saturday against Oklahoma City because he felt like the Warriors needed a spark. I think I've heard that before. Many, many times.
We do have 4 All-Stars in the starting lineup. For God's sakes, we should be able to get off to a better start.
But we've developed some really bad habits.
Boredom, maybe lack of focus, lackluster play. Look more professional to act more professional. Defense wasn't there. We were getting carved up. I don't feel like we focused well at all the last month. It had to do with me trying to reach my team. I have not reached them for the last month.
Now, there are 29 other teams who would love to have such problems. But it's Kerr's job to worry about those things. And I'm going to steal a phrase from Phil Jackson here. Slippage. His team is trying to go to a 4th consecutive finals. And when you're trying to do something like that, problems may not appear to be big issues like we've seen in Cleveland. They're more like, as Kerr said, when he went home during the All-Star break and studied the team, he saw the Warriors were starting poorly, with a defensive rating of 114 points in the first 5 minutes of games, one of the worst in the league. That's it, the first 5 minutes of games. Not such a big deal, right? But when you're trying to do big things, dynastic things, little things matter. So, Paul, what do you make of the Warriors switching things up this late in the season?
I think it's great. You know, JaVale McGee is a shot blocker. He showed last year he can cover a lot of their mistakes, but they have 4 All-Stars, like he said. I mean, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
You know, you could put me in that starting lineup. You know, the defense may not get better, but we're going to win a lot of games. But with JaVale under there, he shows he can be a rim protector. He can catch the lobs and just cover up for a lot of defensive deficiencies that this team has right now.
What's interesting with this move here is the Warriors are actually probably better defensively with Pachulia out there, like the numbers at least show that, but the guys get so excited to play with JaVale, one, because they can just throw him lobs all the time, and a lot of what's wrong with them defensively is they just are not as engaged, right? They're just not in it. And Chris, you're around them every day. I mean, do you see them play differently when JaVale's out there?
Well, I think they play with a little bit of a level of excitement, and I think that's what Steve Kerr was talking about, adding that spark. Yeah. Look, with Zaza Pachulia, he's not a fancy guy. He's not going to be on any type of highlights unless he's on the other end of a highlight. But he does things, he just does what he's supposed to do. Set great screens, passes, defending the post well. JaVale McGee, when he gets a block, you know about this, Paul, when you get a block or a crazy dunk, it kind of invigorates the team. It gets everybody up and pumped. And I think that's just the first 5 minutes of what Steve Kerr is searching for. Just a little bit of life. It's not necessarily more production, but just a little bit more life.
But these guys are bored with the regular season.
Right?
I mean, clearly, you think about it, they've been to 3 straight finals.
Yeah.
You know, the year my Boston team in 2010, we were bored with the process. We knew we were good. We knew when the playoffs come, we could turn it up. And you can clearly see that. They have some nights where it's just not there. But we know when it's time for push and shove, that the Warriors, they're going to come with it in the playoffs. Usually the second half of the season, after All-Star break, they're like, all right, guys, let's pull up our shorts. let's go out here. There's 20-something games left. Let's turn it up and get ready for the playoffs. And that's what they're going to do.
Only the Showtime Lakers have won 60 games 4 straight seasons. Golden State Warriors, if they get 15 more wins, which they have a great shot at doing that, they can reach that company. So it just shows you the level of consistency and the mental toll that it takes to be able to play at such a level for 4 straight years.
Yeah, and today is JaVale McGee. Maybe in another couple games it'll be Jordan Bell starting center.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, now, I don't know if you guys saw this yesterday, okay? But the highlight of the game, aside from Steph's 44 and shooting the 3, did you see Steve Ballmer? Okay. You see Steve Ballmer yelling at Steph in the middle of the game?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I mean, look at this. Look, Steph gets the ball. There's Ballmer. There's Ballmer. Ready? He's yelling at him. Like Bush League style. Steph looks at him.
Well, Steph went off for 44 points. I think Ballmer played the best defense of the
he made that shot.
Yeah, well, he made it, but that was a great contest by Ballmer.
Ballmer heckles everybody. He's a great owner, man. He's like, you know, Mark Cuban on the side. He's a real fan of the game. And so just like any fan right there, he's going to yell at the other players. I mean, he's a great owner. I love him.
Man, I want more of that all the time from Steve Ballmer.